spending my time in quarantine in the slag hag, I brought out an old magazine. Back in the days when people used to hold hands and have fun, I used to write magazine articles. When people read magazines, it was like a book with pictures of things that happened. You could tell stories in it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I miss those guys. I think they all died from a horrible disease or something. But I really appreciated the opportunity to write in the magazine. And I'm going to read it to you, so good luck. Offroad Nation.
I've worked 1,000 hours for 10 seconds of fun, and I'll do it again because I'm stupid. Better yet, I'm an addict, a megatruck addict. Long before megatruck was a term, I had the disease. As my sport grows, my condition worsens. I could have bought a yacht with all the money I've dumped into my truck, but what the hell would I do with a yacht? Probably sink it. I'm certain that there must have been wiser ways to spend my hard-earned cash. So what is so addicting? Well, driving my truck is a great rush, but it don't last long, and then it hundreds of hours of hard labor to put her back together again. Surely I could get a rush just as good from jumping a four-wheeler or banging my head against a wall. And those are activities that you can do all day long. I think it's the idea of the whole thing that has me hooked. I took an antique Dodge Power Wagon and built it into a mega truck with nothing but a vision and some crappy tools and calloused hands. I do backflips in it, and I've got fans who are willing to put their own sweat and blood into it just to see me get going again. I set off on my world tour back in 2011. I was hungry for attention. The first place I went was Dennis Anderson's. My truck didn't belong there, and I didn't get what I was after. What I did get was the beginning to a story of a place that has become like a second home to me and my family. In September 2011, Dennis advertised the first ever Megatruck Freestyle contest. You can bet your boots I was there, but once again, I didn't get what I was after. I raced my junk in a race that it didn't belong in, and turned it over on both runs, crushing my roof and roll cage and almost killing me. Still here. I had my first conversation with Dennis Anderson. I wanted to know what they were using that I hadn't. He taught me about ratcheting harnesses, Hans devices, and foam padding. Taught me about foam padding. I went home from Currituck 2 inches shorter than when I had arrived. I had planned to rebuild my truck into something more indestructible and something as safe as what monster trucks had. It's 5 years later now, and I can tell you that I am more well known at the 7-Eleven in Currituck than the one in my hometown. Now all these stories are in my head to stay. I promise you it doesn't make it any easier standing in front of a 20-foot tall wall that I promised to drive into, knowing that my friends have nearly died trying it. Anyhow, I'm on an adventure, and I'm not about to let fear of the end slow me down. My family packed into our house car, our haunted house. So there I was, sleep deprived and cold, changing my transmission out in an October storm in the dark Friday night before the event. I wasn't alone though. My friends and fans were there pushing me along. By lunchtime Saturday, it was good enough to go. Now this was the annual cargo race where junk cars pull a wagon around the track. It made my day when my friend Tony Bond and the Gotwood race team gave me a Jeep to run in the race. I even won a prize for the most popular rig. Things were going good until the wheels fell off my wagon and I got disqualified. Racing has too many rules for me. As if this day wasn't good enough to me, it was my son's first race on his Power Wheels at 6 months old. Now I understand that when you stare into a woman waiting for your baby to arrive, you never know what you're gonna get. But tradition says to name it first. So we named our boy after the gravedigger, and we got a baby that fits his name. After an eventful day, the anxiety and anticipation approach. I strap myself into my truck and wait. Only 2 people are willing to take their trucks out and freestyle them. Chris Papa was up first, and I was next in the short lineup. I went for a ride in the Carolina sky, and when I planted my flying, flipping power wagon back on Earth, I snapped U-joints, axles, yokes, flanges, and the transfer case output shift. With all the important pieces to my puzzle scattered around Currituck, my run was over. That old feeling of failure began to creep over me. A lot of people would never know it, but my goal is to never break my truck. Over time, while I rebuild it, I try to improve it, and I always think it's better than before, so when it self-destructs in 2 seconds, I have let myself down. Luckily, it was an amazing 2 seconds. Dennis and Ryan came running over to congratulate me. I had never seen them so excited, so I knew that I had done a good job. And to cap off this amazing day in my history, Dennis Anderson got on his microphone and said more than a few kind words about me. I spent the rest of the night taking pictures with my fans, writing my name on stuff, and chasing my wild kids around. I've been working at this dream of mine for a long time, and if success is counted in dollars, then I'm a failure. But success don't get measured by dollars in my book. I left home looking for respect years ago, and now I've got what I went looking for. Until next time, friends, Jimmy Durr.
Thank you and goodbye.
But man, I just got to tell you, all you Jimmy Durr fans and Reckless Militia,